Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for joining me this week. This is my question and answer video where I'm answering your guys' questions from last week. I do this every single week, every single Monday. I'm a life coach. I'm here to just hopefully help you guys along in your recovery and healing from trauma, specifically maybe traumatic relationships, events, things like this. I encourage you guys, please, to keep asking questions as much as you can and learn what happened that was so traumatic so that you can understand it and heal from it, okay? So I do this every single Monday, and I want to welcome every new viewer and person that has subscribed to my channel. Welcome, and thank you very much for supporting me. Please ask questions constantly. Things shouldn't feel bad. Things don't have to feel bad. They shouldn't be confusing. They shouldn't create guilt and shame, things like this, doubt, stuff like this. Let's alleviate these bad negative feelings by understanding your situation. Okay, so please ask questions, please. And if you can support what I'm doing here, that would be fantastic by subscribing to my channel, by voting up or down, commenting down below, sharing this video on different social media or to different people and giving it to people you think it could help. And I appreciate all of you for doing that. I like to recommend something every single week. And this week, I want to recommend everyone to please calm down. And almost everyone. I mean, I think over the coronavirus, right? I'm getting a lot of people that ask me what I think about it. And I'm hearing all kinds of misinformation about it. And people really freaking out when I don't think that we need to. Now, I don't want to act like I know anything about this coronavirus. I know some statistics that have come out that we all are privy to, and we should pay attention to these things. But I want to hopefully just shine a little light on something that I hope will help you guys relax, calm down, things like this. Form your own opinion. That's some of the best advice I could give. Always form your own opinion. I'm being questioned by people that say, oh, I heard this and I heard that and I heard this. And some of them are just extreme, some of the things I've heard. I don't want to start an argument down below about coronavirus. Nobody's really much of an expert on this stuff, except scientists, doctors, things like this. Specific scientists and doctors. The stress alone from the hysteria that has been created over this, the stress alone can lower your immune system and make you more susceptible to something you're already afraid of, okay? The statistics clearly show that people are healing from this, the majority are healing, and that it's not as widespread or that contagious as we think. If you compare it to the flu, it's not nearly as bad as the flu. It's the hysteria that will probably cause the most damage. So if you guys lessen your stress, you should be okay. Let's eat a little healthier. Let's exercise a little bit. Let's get enough sleep. And let's not watch all the news all day about this thing all the time. I get it if you want to get some information, but let's not just buy into and listen to the negativity and the hysteria all the time, okay? I'm not trying to downplay anything. I'm not claiming I know anything about this. I'm just saying it doesn't do any good to unnecessarily stress. You know, people that are hoarding things, that's a big finger up to everyone else, isn't it? I only care about me. People that are this easily excitable and this paranoid, stuff like this, don't clearly know who they are. They don't meet their emotional needs and they're freaking out over physical needs. I don't think we need to, just my opinion. I'm going to go about doing what I do all the time. I'm leaving the country next month, no matter what, unless they won't let me, unless I'm physically unable to because they cancel my flight or something. I'm leaving. I think most people should go about doing what they normally do. I think the hysteria has caused a lot of bigger problems for us. And I think this causes a lot of stress, which lowers your immune system and makes you more susceptible to getting this virus. Sleep well, eat well, and let's exercise a little bit, okay? And form your own opinion. All right? That's it. That's all. That's my only recommendation. Let's lessen the stress in our lives. Turn that crap off. The TVs and everybody saying that people are dying left and right, and it's just not true. Most of it's just not true. Just go look at the numbers. It's that easy. You know, real quick numbers. What? Last time I looked yesterday, 75,000 people are infected. 75,000 people have already healed. That's crazy numbers. 5,000 people have died. And I believe it's over 700,000 people die from the flu every year. I'm not trying to minimize this, just putting it in perspective. Do we need to freak out and go buy all the toilet paper and stuff like this? I don't know. Let's be humans, right? To each other. That's it. So I also have a story that I'd like to share with you guys. I thought this was interesting. I have a ton of friends on Facebook. Most of these people are from my high school and people I've known over the years since Facebook created itself. And every once in a while I'll notice on my news feed some of my friends' stories on there. And it bothers me. It really bothers me, all the stuff people share openly so much, or they complain so much, things like this, especially about politics and religion on social media. I mean, what's the point? These are your so-called friends. Why are we friend requesting people and then arguing with them about stuff? It just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I see a story from someone and I want to share it to you because it has a lot to do with attitude and experience. And it's so important to what we have gone through in our own recovery, I think. I think this story can be very important for you guys to understand. And I think it's okay to share this story because this person posted it on social media for hundreds, thousands to see anyways, right? I won't say who it is, but it's somebody I went to high school with. He said, this is him telling the story. He said, today I was in a parking lot in my car and I see an older man in a wheelchair with a nurse pushing him to his car. As he tried to get into his car, he fell flat on his face and he's down on the ground. He says the nurse didn't help this man, and there was even another gentleman on the phone that saw him and wouldn't help him. And he said, I stopped everything I was doing and I sprinted over to the man, I swear. And I picked the man up and started helping him out. And he looked at me and he said, bless you, son. And then this is what he says. And then I took my hands and I put them on his face and I said, I'm so sorry, sir. And then I went over to the man on the phone and I laid into him and I shamed him and said, you should be ashamed of yourself for not helping this man. And you too, to the nurse. And I went back to my car. And then he typed, is this what the world is coming to? I get it. Must have been emotional to see an elderly fall down, get hurt. And if no one would help this person, I would imagine that could be more emotional and get you upset. I get it. We should help our fellow humans, for sure. My point is not that at all. My point is, well, here, I'll tell you how I replied. I said, if you choose to judge the entire world by one single experience, then you also have the ability to choose which experience you want to judge the world by. Then I said, acts of kindness are much better going if they go unnoticed, if no one's watching, right? But my point is attitude is everything. So this guy had an experience, and he can have the worst outlook on the world and say it's gross and ugly if he wants to. Or you can have a good positive experience, say the world is beautiful and lovely, whatever. But the fact is we need both. We need both. You got to have contrast. How do I know it's so good? Because I know it's so bad is. But if we're going to judge the whole world by our experiences, they're going to be whichever experiences we choose to judge the world by. And we've had bad ones. We've had good ones. But I know we've had a lot more bad ones. I understand that. But if you want to close the door on your future, then you believe that crap that your voice in your head that's depressed and hurt and injured is telling you. It's crap. Perspective is everything, right? This guy, from his perspective, the world's a horrible place. From mine, it's not. We choose that. And I'm telling you, we are not just a product of our experiences. It's our choices. When people say, oh, I was abused as a child, that for some reason seems to be a golden ticket of trust for some people. Oh, you were abused as a child? Oh, you're a good person. What? Wait, why? Why? No. So were narcissists and borderlines. And sociopaths, they're abused too as a child. Are they good people? No. I just really wanted to share that because attitude is everything, guys. When a client comes to me and says, I'll never get better, I'll say, no, you will not. And they're like, why would you say that? So I'm just agreeing with you. Because you decide that. It's your choice. What are you going to choose? Thanks. I wanted to share that with you. I thought that was interesting. So let's get started with the questions, guys. Please ask questions, everybody, like I said, and please leave your locations. I really like to know where you guys are from. And a lot of people, most people out here like to know too. It's a camaraderie. It's family. It's validation. Feeling like I'm not alone. This is a human problem, not just a me problem. That there are people out there that can understand me. Okay? Please tell us your locations, guys. Thank you very, very much. First question is from M. Yat in Germany. Hello. How to know if someone is healed from narcissistic abuse? I'm so better now compared to the last time. I want to heal my codependency, which I think I am. I'm too nice and have hard time saying no. I'm thinking about therapy because I don't want to attract toxic people anymore. And what kind of people attract toxic people? I won't even answer that. I'll let you guys. Healthy people don't attract unhealthy people. Unhealthy people do. So this is good stuff. And you have some awareness. I think I have some codependency issues I'd really like to fix. I say I'm too nice and I have a hard time saying no. I don't like to say I'm too nice and have a hard time saying no. How about I'm too agreeable? Your agreeability factor is too high and gets in the way and kind of ruins your life sometimes because you just say, okay, I agree, when you don't really, right? Stop agreeing. These are good things. We got to be aware of these things. More and more and more. You said you're thinking about getting a therapist. Big time, do it. They help you with cognitively being aware of things like this. And you say this to a therapist better start asking you every week, how you doing? You're still saying yes all the time? You said no? With my worst clients, my clients that have the worst problem saying no, I may say, hey, tomorrow, you have to say no all day no matter what. No matter what. You can use me as an excuse. You can tell people, oh, my life coach says I have to say no to everybody today. But you have to learn how to start saying no to people because you've got to start realizing that you are enough. We got to have boundaries and we got to feel worthy of them. Okay? How to know if someone is healed from narcissistic abuse is your question. It doesn't hurt anymore. You can clearly explain what happened to someone else because you clearly understand it. Things that we don't understand that hurts causes shame. Okay? So not only, when we first go through this experience, right? And we say, I tried to explain it to my family and they just don't understand. And my friends don't understand. And my therapist doesn't, nobody understands. Shit. You don't understand well enough either. That's the problem. How do you explain something to somebody that you don't understand? Because in 5 years, you can explain it, no problem. If you heal from it in 5 years. I just use 5 years to be extreme. In 5 years, you're healed. Everything's better. You can explain it a lot better. Does that make sense? Yeah. You're the one that needs to understand it. Indicators, you don't talk about it all the time. Indicators, you meet someone new and you don't feel it necessary to tell them exactly what you've been through. Right? Indicators. You can go on a date and it's not so scary. You don't need to talk about your ex on that date. Not everybody looks like a narcissist anymore. You start accepting people for making mistakes and being human. You forgive yourself. You understand what you've been through with empathy and self-compassion and love. And you can explain it very well to other people, and you don't have to talk about it anymore. There aren't any more emotional triggers. Emotional triggers, guys, you know, the person that says, oh yeah, that makes me feel really bad, so I don't do that, you know. I don't drive that way to work because it causes triggers. Okay, but forever? That's not just like, oh, this whole city triggers me. The color orange triggers me, and all trucks trigger me. So hey, you know, I just stay at home because I don't want to see trucks, the color orange, or you know, it doesn't work. We make new experiences, guys. We've got to get through these triggers, and the time to do it is now, or when you're ready. But we get inside these things and attack them and understand them really, really well. I hope that helps you with some ways to measure if you're healing from this stuff. But it can be a pretty long process, but it's a process and there's steps to it. And you'll notice you'll go up and then you'll go down and you'll plateau and you'll think like you went backwards, and it's just life, okay? Know why this happened. And I don't mean because someone's a narcissist and all that stuff. Know why you got into a relationship with someone who can't love you. Be able to at least explain it. At least be able to understand it very well. It's much harder to explain things than it is to understand them. Not everyone's a teacher, but at least understand it well. Okay, and I'm not saying you have to understand narcissists, but if your ex is a narcissist, it might be beneficial to understand why they hurt you so much, what they're doing, that it's not personal, that this is how they live, that they do it to everybody, that it's because of their childhood, because their father hurt them, stuff like this. It helps you understand and say, I'm not a bad person, I was just treated badly. You're too nice and have a hard time saying no. That's you. That's yourself, right? Here's you, and here's your boundaries around you. You keep this safe with your boundaries, and that's how we do that. We communicate, okay? So start expressing yourself and telling people what you're thinking, how you feel, what you want, what scares you, okay? Express these things. Good luck. Thank you for your question. Good question. Joe from the United Kingdom. Hello, Joe. My dad is a diagnosed psychopath. My childhood was very emotionally abusive, and he still tries to control me, even while you're 30 years old. I generally keep my distance, but I'm wondering what is the best way to keep myself safe as I attempt to navigate some kind of relationship with him. I also have children. Is this ever possible? And I shortened this up. You have a couple children. You would like to be able to have some kind of relationship with your father, who has been diagnosed a psychopath, which is antisocial personality disorder. And you want to know, is any kind of, you understand he's abusive, and you just want to know, is there any chance of any kind of relationship? Well, take the first few letters of the word relationship, right? Relate. How well do you relate to a psychopath? I'll answer that for you. You don't. You can't relate to him. But I'm not going to say there's no chance for anything. I'm going to say the best thing for you to do, Joe, probably, stay away from him long enough till you totally have healed from the pain he's caused you, so that it doesn't cause you any more emotions anymore. Okay? So it's no more hate, anger, resentment, fear, sadness, depression, anxiety. These are all healed. Because without that, there is no chance for sure. And I don't know what you want your children, why you want your children to be involved with him. Because they need a grandfather? No, they don't. Because they need a male role model? Well, he's not one. I don't know why. I think this is something you are holding on to, a hope you are holding on to. You said he still abuses you. Come to peace with this. Okay? Totally heal first. And if you're totally healed, that means you won't really have an inclination to have a relationship with him anymore, I think. Okay? You have a void from your father, and you want to fill that void up. And most of us try to do that. We try to fill the void up from the person who created that void. But we got to go do that on our own. And you have to do that first. I want you to know something. In all the years I've done this, people that have antisocial personality disorder, that's your psychopath and your sociopath, I want you to understand something very much. That more than any people in the world, people with antisocial exploit others. Period. Period. They do not have people in their life unless they're exploiting them. They exploit everyone. There's no purpose to have anyone near them unless they're exploiting you. Okay? I know this stuff so well. I've seen sociopaths and psychopaths say, I want to stop exploiting people, and they can't. I've seen them say, I'm going to stop exploiting people, and they go and isolate, complete in isolation. They're like, I can't come in contact with people or I will exploit them, and I don't want to. I mean, it's a very, very, very misunderstanding of society and how society works. It's a very bad misunderstanding, and they have different brain chemistry. Their brains do not operate the way ours does. I don't like to shut the door on anything or anybody and say people can't change. I don't know your father, right? But I'm saying he abuses you, so get away from him. If you can't stop someone hurting you, you get away from them. Why you want to bring your children around him, I don't know. I don't know. Find a better male role model for your children and heal from all of this stuff from your father first. You may not want a relationship with him anymore after you healed from it. Okay? I'm really sorry. I really am. What an awful card to be dealt. Good luck. Jamie from Wisconsin. Hello, Jamie. Thank you for your continued commitment to this topic. You're welcome. Thanks for telling me, Jamie. July of 2019 ended a relationship with my ex borderline narcissist. I followed your no contact video so far, and it helped me through 2 attempts of contact. In today's video, you mentioned that communicating that no further contact is welcome should be done. After so long of no contact, I feel uncomfortable and unsure about this. How do you suggest I communicate this? You have been a key source of my healing since this experience. Thank you. Thank you so much for telling me. It's very sweet. Really, thank you. So, in last week's video, I was mentioning that when someone's stalking you and mass harassment and won't stop and won't leave you alone, at some point it can be beneficial to tell them to stop. Often, I'll find people are being stalked and harassed by somebody and they never even told them not to. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of laws or law in a lot of countries make sure you do this. You have to do this. You have to do this before you take someone to court. You have to do this before you press criminal charges. You have to at least one time tell them not to. Okay? But I'm by no means telling any individual person to contact the person stalking you again. No. And I'm so sorry I confused you. Okay, this is an individual basis, Jamie. And if you feel, you mentioned, I shortened your question too, but you had mentioned that you just fear this and this might be harmful, and then don't do it. Don't do it. I think it's beneficial in the beginning. If you feel like you know someone's like this, they've done it before, you've been around this, it's not the first time, they're very unstable when you tell them goodbye or whatever, you know, you might want to tell them, hey, don't ever contact me again, okay? It just can help with them, their head. It can help with legal issues, okay? Civil issues. But I'm by no means telling you guys to break contact just to tell them to leave you alone. No. And I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Yeah, God, I hope people haven't done that and then endured more abuse. It's just an individual basis, and you know that better than anybody else, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry, Jamie, if I stressed you out with that. It's just, say you're going to go to a lawyer right now, right? And you're going to get a protective order or whatever, because he's been smearing you and attacking you and stalking you. That lawyer might have to contact him and say, hey, cease and desist, stop, get rid of everything you've done, stop what you're doing now. A lot of times in court we have to do that, but I'm not telling you need to do that, okay? A lot of times the best thing to do is write it out and wait till they stop, because they almost always stop, right? Good luck. I'm really sorry if I confused you, Jamie. You know what? I'm going to stop here. Yeah. I only had like 8 questions this week, and I thought I might even get it done in one video, but nope, that's the end of part 1. I'll start part 2 in a minute. It'll be out in 30 minutes. Thank you guys very much. Please support me. Please subscribe, vote. Comment. A lot of guys are saying, hey, this is so-and-so from Las Vegas. Thank you. That's great. It's just more activity. Don't forget, guys, look how bad you guys feel. A lot of us are suffering from a form of PTSD, and it's horrible, man. God, I've been through it, and it feels like the end of the world. They say soldiers are killing themselves every day from PTSD. I guarantee you, tons of people are killing themselves every day that are victims of this stuff just like you. And if it just takes you guys to vote and subscribe, and if you think I'm helping, can you just push some buttons, please? You can put my videos in a playlist on your channel, stuff like this. If you don't want people to see it, you know, block your channel or create a new one and don't use your real name and stuff, okay? Thanks, guys. All right, I'll see you in part 2. Bye.